In one hand, we want to have more energy-efficient green technology. On the other hand, replacing old cars, computers, microwave, handphones, and all electronic items can cause a huge e-waste. Apparently, it is the most rapidly growing waste problem in the 21st century. According to WHO, an estimated 53.6 million tons of e-waste were produced globally in 2019, of which only 17.4% was documented as formally collected and recycled. In some places, in the developed world, the amount e-waste will increase by 500% in the years to come. We know that e-waste contains extremely toxic chemicals, including all those deadly health hazards. Therefore, we need proper planning for our nation and for the future generations who might face a challenging environment full of e-waste in their world. The balance in technology transformation is on its edge. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many technological changes all around us. Despite the difference, there is one similarity. All these technologies are not homegrown. Not only that, we have come to be dependent on these technologies in our work and daily life. The ease of getting access to these technologies reduce the effort to gather our abilities as a nation to advance these technologies ourselves. We had, for decades, looked away, first to the West and then to the East, to build our capability through technology transfer. How successful has that effort been? Perhaps it is time we challenge technology. We need to have Malaysian technology, Malaysian intellectual property, a challenge that we serve to harness our energy and abilities, a challenge to organize ourselves and develop our own indigenous technological capacity. To first accept it, we need to believe in our fellow Malaysians, believe in their abilities and what they can do. Often we hear about how poor our education system is, how ill-prepared it is to produce relevant workers in the industry. At the same time, we also hear that brain drain is so hard that it is depriving industries of skilled workers. Could the product of a poor education system be demanded highly overseas? Something is not right here. Perhaps we now should look here at our own people, not as a resource to be exploited, but a partner in development. In University of Malaya, we run a program called Purposeful and Principled Leadership. In one of its modules, we look into Malaysia's diversity as a competitive advantage instead of weaknesses. Why do we continue to fight over Malay, Chinese, Indian, Iban, and Kadazan? Instead, we should be embracing multiculturalism and diversity. Values-driven governance will ensure fairness among our people. Governance has always been about people. In an organization, governance is the organization's culture, including structure, system, and processes. People's attitude, values, management, and leadership style. It is not just a set of rules to comply with. Balancing technological transformation requires a systematic approach to governance. Ideally, we should be active participants in the technology and not be confined to only users or traders. At this point, let me share a personal experience which happened to me some 30 years ago in 1994. When I returned after completing my master's in information technology at Syracuse University, came back to KL, I'm so used to going to one place to pay my bills. But back in Malaysia in those days, you have to go to the telecom to pay your phone bills, you have to go electricity board to pay your electricity bill, and few places. But 1994, the post office on Jalan Telawi was the first to announce that they have a one-stop center. So, to my delight, I said, wow, fantastic. So I queue up. After 40 minutes, by the time I get to the counter, the girl looked at me and say, Encik boleh datang esok tak? I said, why? System is down. So I said, you mean system is down, I cannot make my payment? She looked at me like, are you stupid? And here I just came back equipped with a master's degree in information technology. I feel like going behind and start to reboot the computer and get it working. So I said, no, can I talk to the postmaster? Of course, this old man came down and said, what's the problem? But Malaysian being very complacent, the people who was queuing even longer behind me were ready to leave and come back tomorrow. But when I started to ask this question, I think everybody decided, oh, we need to come back and listen. So when they came back, I asked a simple question. How were you doing all this before you have a system? So the postmaster said, well, we look at your bill, we take your money, we give the balance, we issue you a receipt. I said, voila, why don't you do it now? When the system is up, you can always update it. So then he looked at me and said, oh, you're right. Why didn't I think of it? You mean to say if there's a blackout in the whole country, we don't have to work? So dependent on technology to the extent that we have forgotten how to think is a problem. I know that my time, is this time's up or time's up? Can I just finish? I just have the last paragraph. Okay. Dr. Zunika, would you allow me? For old friends' sake. See how you have to negotiate to get this. I'm going to finish. So technology, no matter how advanced or powerful, is ultimately only as good as the people who use it. The principle of garbage in, garbage out reflects the truth. If we input poor data, unethical practices, or bad intentions, technology will yield flawed or harmful outcomes. It is not the technology itself that drives success or failure, but the integrity and values of those who operate it. With ethical and responsible individuals at the helm, technology can become a tool for progress, innovation, and positive change. However, without such principles guiding its use, even the most sophisticated system can be misused, leading to negative consequences. Therefore, it is people that shaped by the values who determine whether technology works or against us. In conclusion, in creating better governance with balanced technology, the answer lies in people. I have 8 points to conclude my presentation. The first, we need to plan to ensure that our people are educated and trained to understand how to use technology for the right purpose. Second, we need to ensure that foresight planning is done in order to anticipate the technology of the future in order to prepare our people. Third, we need to explore and leverage on our own native wisdom and indigenous technology capacity of our people to create technology that is based on our values. Fourth, we need to punish people who consistently violate governance and rules. Year in, year out, our Auditor General report highlights the same findings that are systemic within our government departments. There is little point in introducing new control measures and mitigation system. What we should have punitive action taken on the culprits behind the audit findings. Fifth, we need to have the right people and the right technology for better decision making, achieve transparent and more effective outcomes, and minimize any political interference. Can I repeat that? Well, you repeat it. Ultimately, 6, it is the people that will ensure the right technology is acquired, adapted, and used ethically to solve problems, to uplift society and build our nation. So the plan must be centered on educating and capacity building on our people with values-driven governance. 7, it is not about the level of sophistication in the technology, but applying the appropriate technology that will help with their daily needs. Different people have different needs, ideals, and beliefs. We cannot force everyone we want to want the same thing, but that should not stop us from working to achieve the greater good. We need to see and understand the big picture, that the rich do not want the same thing as the poor. Those who depend on their jobs for their livelihood do not want the same thing as those who live off investment and dividends. Finally, structuring successful policies needs to come together with robust implementation plans. Clear roles must be established on who takes responsibility, accountability, who will be consulted, and who should be informed. Years ago, the French novelist Marcel Proust wrote, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes." Let us have all new eyes and work together to realize a better Malaysia through the 13th Malaysia Plan. I hope we will plan and do the right thing because the future generation depends on us doing the right thing. Mistakes we make today will be a heavy burden on them. May Allah the Almighty protect and guide us in planning for a better future. InsyaAllah. Sekian. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Dato' Dr. Anis, for that presentation, which I know could not have been done by technology. Only a human could deliver a presentation like that. Let's give him another round of applause for that. Also skilled in the art of negotiating from 1 paragraph to 8 points. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the hour. It's 3:40 p.m. Digestive systems are working overload. Some eyes are drooping away. So everyone, could you kindly stand up with me? Just stand up. We've got just a little bit more to go, ladies and gentlemen. A couple more presentations. So let's ensure everyone is wide awake. Could you kindly stretch your hands forward? Okay. Let's just hold that pose. Stretch your hands forward. Are we doing okay? How long do you think you can keep this position? 10 seconds? Come on, 20? All the way up, all the way up. Unless you have any shoulder issues, then don't stretch it. But yeah, this position is very limited, right? We can't really hold this forever. So now I want you to switch positions, but kepada yang bukan muhrim, berwaspadalah. Put your hands out like this and use your friend's shoulder for support. Left or right? If you don't have a shoulder, it's okay, sir. So if you have a shoulder, place your hand on said shoulder, and that position you can hold forever. Correct? Correct. That position you can hold forever. So the moral of the story is we've got a little bit more to go. We can't get through it alone because we might fall asleep. So kepada kawan yang tepi kiri, tepi kanan, tolong tweet. We'll get through this together. Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. You kindly take your seats as I get into the next introduction on the cyber security threat in Malaysia. It's something we've read in the headlines time and time again. Some websites were defaced, denial of service attacks, so many issues, not just in Malaysia, but the world over. And ransomware has added a brand new dimension to these threats. So, someone in cybersecurity once told me, the defenders, the people that protect us, have to get it right all the time to ensure no threat actually penetrates those defenses. But the attackers, they only need to get it right once, and they compromise the entire system. So to the people at Cybersecurity Malaysia and all our national cyber agencies, I want to say a big thank you because they are working overtime to ensure that the defense is tight. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Insinyur Dr. Megat Zuhairi Megat Tajuddin, Chief Executive Officer of the National Cyber Security Agency, to the stage to begin his presentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Friday is always an unlucky day for me. Every time at 3:30 there will be a big incident. Then there goes my weekend. So today, I hopefully, since I'm not looking at my phone today, I hope there won't be any WhatsApp messages telling me that there's an organization being attacked, and I will not be able to sleep, and reports and media will be calling me, and to manage panic and so on. So hopefully today will be a good Friday for me, and there will be a good weekend tomorrow. Thank you for the introduction, which is quite worrying, that everyone is very worried about incidents that occur today, every day. Even today, there's 112 website it's not a defacement, it's actually a so-called a search engine optimizing poisoning, SEO poison, which means that when you search an organization, for example, if you search Kementerian Ekonomi, in the Google search, you'll see a lot of links to casino, gambling, and so on. When you click on that, then you go to another website, and then you're done. Your information being captured and so on. But Kementerian Ekonomi website, it's okay. It's just like they are trying to trick you that there's something happens to the website. So 112 today, we'll solve another balance of 28 at 11:30 in the morning. I think we're settled. So don't panic. 112 website is not being defaced. It's just being poisoned by people who wants to take advantage from our digital economy transformation and so on, which is something that I will start my presentation with the next slides, please. So actually, I prepared my slides in Bahasa Malaysia, but then my presentation will be a combination of both. I think we have been promoting digital economy quite some time, since MSC Malaysia, Super Corridor and so on. Right now, we're talking about 5G, AI, IoT and so on, which I think the approach or the initiative has been fruitful. Right now, digital economy contributing at 23% to our economy, and right now we are expecting at 25.5%. Yesterday, YB Gobin is saying that 25.5% is something that is so easy to achieve. So we might want to go for maybe 30% or so on, because the reason being, we're so aggressive in promoting digital economy. I mean, JDN has been promoting government to transform ourselves, and just again, we're depending in digital so much that at a certain extent, when system down, then we said, that's it, let's go home. So it's a good sign in certain extent, but then again, cybersecurity has always been a challenge, especially when we are depending on those systems that is online in cyberspace. And next, please. Just to share with you guys, with every one of you today, the landscape of our incidents in Malaysia. This year, although this number is quite small, 1,305, this is related to NCRI, National Critical Information Infrastructure. We've seen in the first quarter, 1,305 incidents occurred in 2024. In actual fact, last year, it's about 3,223. To be exact, it's not about to be 3,223 incidents. Year before that, it was 7,000. So we've seen a decreasing trend in terms of cyber attacks, not the reason being probably because we are quite aware of protecting ourselves, but probably also organizations decided not to report because for whatever reason, the impact to reduce panic, to avoid certain actions that might even promote more people to go into our organization. But I also believe that although the numbers is going down from 7,000 to 3,000, the sophistication of our threat actors or bad actors are getting even more higher. For example, last time probably phishing was the main target of our incidents, but right now this year we've seen a lot of ransomware. The impact of ransomware is quite huge. Yes, if you've read in the newspaper, on 26th of August, Prasarana being attacked by ransomware, consisting of the threat actors managed to get 316 gigabyte of data, zip file. So if you expand it even more, then the size might be even go to 1 terabyte and so on. And before that, even if you remember a year before, or probably last year and end of last year, Perkeso has been attacked. Probably a ransomware, probably a different strategy by threat actors. So that could, if we do not mitigate such threats properly, it will just impacting the whole nation. So it is quite critical, but however, I would like to highlight again always in my presentation that cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. I mean, at NACSA, I just want to share with you that there are about 30 of us, an additional 40 last year, so we have 70. And then we're getting more for probably 100, another 100, and there are 170 of us. Compared to Singapore, there are about 400 people, then staff in similar organization of NACSA, and Saudi Arabia, for example, they have about 500. Nevertheless, I think in Malaysia, the spirit of shared responsibility is quite high. I get support from organizations like industries, I got support from government organizations, which believes that protecting ourselves is our responsibility. It's just like we having a house to make sure that we're protected. If the area is prone for crime, we decided to install CCTV. When there's even more crime, the neighborhood decided to come together and invested in security and so on. So it is always that spirit, even not just in Malaysia, but it's worldwide. In fact, Malaysia has always been a center for most countries throughout the world that wanted to help Malaysia, in the sense that Malaysia has very positive environment in terms of promoting cyber hygiene, promoting talent, adopting technology, and so on. Next, please. Just to share the trend in 2024, info stealer has always been the favorite of bad actors. It's not sophisticated. By giving you a link or by providing an SMS or WhatsApp or email, that shows that it is a legit email. By clicking on that link, you're exposing yourself. By the threat actor will be able to get your password, your user ID and password. This info stealer will then be able to go into your PC, and if your PC is in the government network or in your organization network, then if you are the administrator of such system, then they will be able to get your admin password, and ultimately they get the whole data in your organization. So the solution to it is very straightforward in InfoStealer, which is that by adopting or migrating into having a multi-factor authentication. Number two is ransomware. Ransomware is a worrying trend, not just in Malaysia, but worldwide. For example, there are several organizations outside Malaysia that decided to pay to the ransom, to the bad actors. By paying, you might get back your data, or you might not, because you're paying to a different people who are just taking advantage of that ransom. Number two, that by paying, you might get back your data, but your data is already exposed, because the bad actors has actually holding your data already. So in that sense, those bad actors will then decide to sell that data to a different people. So he gets your ransom payment, he also gets payment from the other who wants to buy that data. So we always advise organization who has been attacked by ransomware, first is to not responding to the threat actors by paying, if possible. But of course, you have to manage the risk and whether there is any necessary. Always, the risk is always there even though you pay. So number three is that the trend is not trend in terms of threats, but trend in terms of, in Malaysia context, that we have, finally we have our own Cybersecurity Act. It was presented in the Parliament in March, and then it's approved in April, and we received our royal assent in July, and then it is now entered in force in 26th of August, 2 weeks ago. Can you please, next please? Okay, in terms of the concept of us protecting ourselves, first of all, you need to identify. Identify means that you need to identify which asset you need to protect. Organization might have a system, for example, JPA might have Hermes, the other organization may, for example, LHDN may have e-filing. This is what you need to identify whether it's critical or not. Defining critical means that if it's being attacked or being breached, it will impact the whole organization, impact the economy, impact your image, impact the public as a whole, and so on. By identifying it, then you need to protect. Just like normal, if you have a house, if you feel that you have valuables in your house, you might need to invest in CCTV, invest in additional security measures. Similarly, in this context, once you identify your assets, then you need to invest on the necessary cybersecurity measurements. Once you protect, you might need to identify, not identify, mengesan. You need mengesan those potential anomaly and potential threats. So it will, by doing that, you'll be able to avoid having such necessary attempts to get it into your organization, into your network, in your cyberspace. However, ANAXA, whoever, a similar organization in the US, in China, whoever is responsible in protecting in cybersecurity throughout the world, we may not be able to say we are 100% being protected. Regardless how much measure that you do, we are always exposed to threats. Then if the threats or incidents occur, you need to do the necessary incident response. Incident response can be to stop any access. Incident response can also be by doing the necessary measures so that it will not give a greater risk or impact to your organization, or it may also expand to the other aspect, not just organization, but other organizations as well, or the country as a whole. Nevertheless, response can also means most of our organizations do not realize that communication plans is one of the critical measures in responding. If you recently, those who subscribe to one of the channel in Telegram, or maybe WhatsApp, who send propaganda message that this organization has been attacked, this organization has been breached, the first reaction by those organizations is either to deny it, or number two is just reacting in terms of panic. You can deny it if it's real, if it's not real. If you deny it just because you want to deny it, but it's actually real, the threat actors will just respond, this is the data that I have, why are you denying it? Then it will expose more and create more panic and trust in every response to such incident. If it's just occur, then what you need to do is just to report to the necessary organization, AXA. Oh, I have 2 more minutes, so I have just 3 more slides left. So for that sake, then of course, once it happened, then what you need to do is to do necessary measures to stop it from occur in the future. For example, what happens in Perkeso, what they did is just lesson learned from that incidents. They just do additional measures to protect themselves for any future threats. So that lesson learned is being now become a white paper that we will share with everyone, because what happened in Perkeso is something that everyone could learn from, and they managed to handle such incidents in very professional manner and reduces a lot of future or even a bigger impact of such incidents. Next, please. So, like I said earlier, ACTA is now buka kuasa on 26th of August. Many of you will become an national critical information infrastructure, or which in that case, if your organization and an NCII, then ACTA will be applicable to you. What does that mean? If you do not report your incidents to NACSA within immediately or after that, 6 hours after that, then you are violating the ACTA and you will be penalized according to the law. When an incident happens, immediately, it is first, you have to immediately report to NACSA. Number 2, after 6 hours, you have to report in additional information. And after 14 days, you have to report in much detail. So it has become a mandatory from the date 26th of August 2024. Okay. Next, please. So this is some critical information of the ACTA. Number 1 is that there is a Jawatankuasa Keselamatan Cyber Negara, which is the chairman of the Jawatankuasa is the Prime Minister of Malaysia. There are 6 cabinet ministers. KSN, PAT, and IGP is also the members of JKSN, and KPMKN, and 2 experts will be members of JKSN. There are several, my time is up. 1 more minute, please, if I can negotiate with the Kementerian Ekonomi. So there are some elements of the power of Ketua Executive, NCAI, entity NCAI, incident reporting, and also licensing of cybersecurity service provider. It will become a mandatory for those providing service in cybersecurity service to register and get license with NACSA, and also other parts which other requirements of providing risk assessment and also auditing cybersecurity audit every 1 year and every 2 years. Next, please. I will skip this one. Next. Just a conclusion. Cybersecurity is always dynamic. Prior to this, like I said, phishing is always a trend. Now, ransomware and even some ransom has now become a service. In the dark web, there are several organizations who provide service to ransom people. So they get commission from the money that received by that organization, and also some commission goes to the threat actors. So it's ransom as service. Number 2, government is always committed for the introduction of the Akta Keselamatan Cyber shows our dedication on making sure that our cyberspace is safe, resilient, and also peaceful space. And of course, again, I would like to highlight to everyone, it is a shared responsibility. Responding to an incident by reporting to NACSA is not because we want to find your fault, it's just for us to assist so that it will not impacting giving more impact to your organization, to Malaysia as a whole. Nevertheless, those who are stubborn or degil, who still feels that you do not want to protect yourself, then ACTA will come in play, then you will do the necessary actions, enforcement to such organization who does not want to protect yourself. Then again, look at this ACTA as a punca kuasa for all of you who are in the IT or even KSU or Ketua Jabatan. This will be a punca kuasa for all of you to get budget from the government to get more money to buy necessary solutions and hardwares to protect your organization from any future cyber threats. So with that, I stop my presentation today, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Senior Dr. Megat Zuhairi. Truly eye-opening for a lot of us, and also something to look forward to with the brand new act. But definitely a landscape that we need to study a little bit more about in order to understand the various threat actors that are involved. And we come to a rather innovative final session before we get into the closing remarks and the concluding forward. But we just would like to once again remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we have various avenues for you to highlight what you would like to see within RMK 13. Please kindly check us out on the portal and do leave your suggestions and feedback based, of course, upon what you heard over the course of the last 2 days. So there are various areas and avenues where Malaysia, of course, could use a brand new foresight. And to move forward in the right directions, I do believe we need input from all stakeholders. That's all of you in this room. So please do kindly use the portal to let us know which areas you'd like to see improved upon and what kind of methodology you would like to see utilized in carrying your ideas and aspirations forward within RMK 13. So on that note, I do believe our next presenter is ready. He's set things up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the second place winners at the Innovathon Program Season 1. They are Putra UAV. Please welcome Mr. Yavinish Naidu to the stage.
Yang berbahagia, Dato' Lukman Ahmad, Deputy Secretary General of Makro, representatives from international organizations, head of departments, representatives from ministries and agencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me here today. It is definitely an honor to stand on this stage and present to you how a small graduate engineer from Klang, I hail from Klang, Bandar Diraja Klang, went all the way up to University Putra Malaysia to pursue his engineering graduate studies. And today, in front of you, in front of all the dignitaries here, I would like to present the world's first pineapple leaf fiber drone, which made us won the Innovathon Season 1 second place prize. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, when we were doing our internship myself, and my partner over here, Mr. Navanitha Krishna, who both of us are aerospace engineering graduates, when we wanted to focus on what we want to do next in our life. That was when the Ministry of Economy and Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation introduced to us Astro Innovathon. So what was running in our mind is, number one, definitely we are not going to participate, and definitely we are not going to win. That was the first thought we had in our mind, but we wanted to give it a shot. We told ourselves, we can do it. Kita anak Malaysia, Malaysia boleh. So we said, let's go. We went to Meranti Park. That was where we did our audition. So after our audition, we waited for 7 hours. And we also were at the verge of giving up. We said, balik lah, let's go back. I don't think so, they selected us. At 11:30 p.m., we got a message from the panelists. They asked us to come inside the room, and they told us, congratulations, you have been shortlisted for the next stage. So moving on from that stage, when we participated in the Astro Innovathon 7th episode, that was our episode, moving on from there, we presented our idea to the Honorable Minister, YB Rafizi Ramli, and he was super excited to see such materials being produced in our IPTS, in our local universities, by local graduates and supervised by our local lecturers. And moving on, when we went to the finals, we also did not expect that we will win, because what happened was, during the finals, this particular bird was not able to fly due to some technical malfunction. So at that point of time, we didn't know what to do. We rammed the drone on the ground. But we had to prove one point to everyone, that this product is sustainable, that this drone is made up of sustainable product. So that was one of the main reasons why we want to introduce to all of you all here the use of pineapple leaf fiber in our journey as Success Sendirian Berhad. Success was initiated in 2023 after we won Astro Innovathon, and moving from there, we ventured into green UAV industries. We wanted to show to the world that apart from having carbon fiber, synthetic fiber, and many other materials that is being infused into the building of a drone, we can provide an alternative, we can provide a substitute material to everyone in this world which is sustainable and also cost-effective. So moving on from there, once we have patented our system and also our fabrication methods for our drone, we also wanted to venture into other market like automotive and also textile. Ladies and gentlemen, natural fiber is something that has been quite prominent to us since the early 2000s. But the usage of pineapple leaf fiber and natural fiber in automotive industry and also in the aviation industry is something that is quite uncalled for, which we have attempted, and I would say we are very successful for now with the help of the Ministry of Economy and Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. And from then, what we wanted to produce is 4 types of fiber, which is raw fiber, treated fiber, woven mat, and also non-woven mat. Mostly the fibers that we use in our fabrication for our drone frame kit is non-woven mat due to its tensile properties and engineering capabilities. The other forms of fiber can also be used as a business approach for our local farmers. 1 kilo of pineapple leaf fiber can be sold for up to 13 to 15, within a range of 13 to 15 USD per kilo. So imagine the social impact that we are trying to produce in terms for our farmers' economic growth. And this is the drone that we have fabricated, and this drone was sold to a US company. It's called Robotics 88. It's a forest surveillance drone company, quite established in Rhode Island, United States. They purchased 1 drone frame kit for us, and they said, we really love your material. We would like to purchase another 10 units of frame kit from your company. And also, apart from that, apart from winning the Innovathon Season 1, moving from there, the Innovathon provided us a platform to show us that who we are and what we are capable of. So moving on from that, people started to accept our material. People started to understand that apart from using other pollutant materials like carbon fiber, which will last for a very long time, you can substitute this material, which is pulp fiber, pineapple leaf fiber, which is pulp, into any sort of form that you would like. So when I presented this particular drone to the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, during the DSA NATSAC Asia exhibition, he was astonished. He said, this was the exact sentence he told me. He asked me, where are you doing this? I said, we are doing this in University Putra Malaysia, Datuk Sri. He said, keep up the good work. I would like to see more of this. All the best. So all of this wouldn't have been possible if we did not win this Innovathon, because this particular series gave us the reach nationwide. Wherever we go, even today, we were treated like celebrities. It is something that we really don't get a lot every day. Even at our university also, we don't really get a lot of this treatment. But when we see how we have changed ourselves, how we have, our sophistication has changed from being a graduate to now an entrepreneur, to a tech entrepreneur, to a student entrepreneur, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Economy and also MOSTI for giving us the opportunity to even produce a product that has highest quality of national interest and also of international interest, and we will be able to show this product even to our Prime Minister of Malaysia. And apart from this, we have also created educational drones to instill better quality of STEM education in our children. All of these products are patented, and all of these products, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the world's first creation. You cannot find this anywhere else except for in Malaysia. So when we created this product, we were actually struggling because not many of us know what is natural fiber. And moreover, talking about pineapple leaf fiber, we all know pineapples give us good fruit juice and also delicious pineapple tarts. But the leaves are usually thrown away. We usually throw away the leaves. So when we throw this waste material, the farmers usually keep it as heaps. They leave it like that, it dries up, and then it becomes house for rodents and snakes. And also they tend to burn it up. This causes pollution. And when there is a lot of waste accumulating at one place, this causes the land value that is being used for other purposes to reduce. So when our product here is actually converting a waste product into wealth, not only for us, but also for our farmers. This is actually our economic turnover, which we want to actually showcase to all of you all, how a small material like this can actually produce a huge national and global impact. So we are actually talking about how, as innovators, we want the government to support us. But first, as innovators, we need to know what we want. We need to know our passion. 3 years back, our passion was to get a job, land a safe engineering job, and take care of our family. But after Innovathon, the entire spectrum of our imagination changed because we want to work towards social innovation. Every job that we do, every responsibility that we take, we want to make sure that is able to change the life of at least one person in this country. And I'm very sure with this project of ours, we are able to change the lifestyle of our farmers. Our farmers will now be able to not only plant a pineapple, but they will also be able to convert that waste, sell it, and also generate a second income for themselves. We are not only teaching the farmers how to farm, we are also teaching the farmers how to become entrepreneurs as well. So I believe this is what the Ministry of Economy actually wants to cultivate amongst the B40s or even the M40s or even in many social levels of our country. And we are happy and we are proud that we contribute to a small part of this great initiative. And we are expecting, as innovators, we expect more funding and grants because innovation is something that is always changing. It is something that is always moving forward. When we have such fundings and grants, for example, for our project, we received a funding of 200,000 from Cradle Fund, which was also supported by the Ministry of Economy and also the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. So when we received these funds, we were able to produce drones, we were able to produce systems, and we were able to even produce machines for fiber extraction purposes. When we have this kind of funding system for innovators like us, it will be much more helpful. It will also provide a platform for us to showcase our ideas, not only to ladies and gentlemen, but also to everyone in this world. And also, definitely, government should look into giving more of mentorships and trainings for our innovators so that they can be competitive not only locally, but also internationally. And we also need to step up on our innovation hubs, where we have more trainings, we have more workshops, we produce more tech innovators in this country because technology is moving forward. We also need to run that race together with technology. And apart with partnerships with academia like universities like us, and also proper regulations and IP protections. IP protection is very important because it ensures that the initial idea of the inventor is kept safe, and also it can be used for commercialization later, which will also generate an income for all of us. And I hope, as a young innovator, as a 25-year-old innovator, together with other 3 innovators who have joined my team, Mr. Navanitha Krishna, Mr. Kiran Raj, Ms. Soundarya, and also my supervisor, Professor in Senior Technologist, Dr. Muhammad Tariq bin Haji Hamid Sultan, who has been in this field of natural fiber for the past 10 years. We hope that through our innovation, we will be able to produce economic growth. Like I said, through 1 kg sales of fiber, we will be able to generate an income of USD 13 to 15 within this range. So imagine if we were to sell in tons, how much of money can the farmers make? How much of money can an enterprise like us make? How much of money can we generate through one income group of selling sustainable materials? So this is what we are looking at, sustainable development. Apart from saving the earth, we also want to save ourselves. To save ourselves, we need to have a proper micro and macro economy. For that, we all need money. So to have good money managing system, we must have a good system to support us at the back, which I believe the Ministry of Economy is always ready to provide us the platform to support innovators like us. And we want to empower the next generations as well. And we also want to leverage our diversity. We have multiple talents, we have multiple professionals in multiple fields. We want to bring all of them together. We want to showcase their talents, and we want to make use of their intelligence to make Malaysia great again. And that is all from me. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And I hope, as I walk down this hall later, I would like someone to come and purchase the drones. So, thank you very much, and terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And congratulations, Yavinash. So you left out the part whether it's edible or not. No, just kidding. It looks amazing. Congratulations to Yavinash and team. And we're looking forward to more innovations like that from talented Malaysians making Malaysia great again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the concluding remarks. And to take us through the entire day and the day before, I would like to invite Encik Kodi bin Baharudin, Pengarah Bahagian Perkhidmatan Sosial Kementerian Ekonomi, to kindly join us on stage in presenting the summary.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang berbahagia Datuk Lokman Ahmad, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha Makro Kementerian Ekonomi. Yang berbahagia Datuk-Datuk, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to congratulate everyone in this hall for your unwavering commitment to Kementerian Ekonomi by staying engaged until the very end of this conference. Yang bahagia Datuk, Tuan Puan, it is an honor to stand before all of you to present the key takeaways from this conference Persidangan Permulaan that has significant implication for Malaysia's future. Over the past 2 days, we have been privileged to engage with some of the most brilliant minds in economy, policy, and industry, all coming together with a shared purpose to chart a bold, radical, and strategic path forward for our nations. Our first session emphasized the impact of deglobalization of Malaysia's economy. The presenter highlighted the urgent need to enhance our education system with a strong focus on STEM to maintain competitiveness. Additionally, panelists have discussed the importance of strengthening ESG practices and maintaining market access through FTAs like CPTPP and RCEP. By positioning Malaysia as an international manufacturing hub, particularly in sectors like electronic, pharmaceutical, and renewable energy, we can attract FDI and stimulate growth. Presenter from Ministry of Finance provided valuable insights into optimizing fiscal policies, including the implementation of governance reform and the medium-term revenue strategy, which will ensure that our fiscal policy supports sustainable growth. In the second session, the focus shifts to reform our education system to meet the demands of future. Panelists call for a systemic change to create a more flexible and adaptive education system that caters to diverse learning needs. The shift from a traditional knowledge-based economy to a humanity-centric one requires an emphasis on soft, smart, and sharp skills. Another panelist emphasized the importance of purpose-driven education, emotional intelligence, and setting clear, achievable targets for foundational skills like literacy and numeracy. By focusing on these areas, perhaps we can prepare our students to thrive in an uncertain future. Our third session addressed the challenges in talent development and utilization. As Malaysia transitions to a high-income economy, it is essential to address skill-related and underemployment and ensure that our education system aligns with employer needs. The panel highlighted the importance of lifelong learning, reskilling, and upskilling to adapt to technological advancement and demographic shifts. Furthermore, collaboration between academia, industry, and government is vital to prevent skill mismatch and support the creation of high-quality employment opportunities. The fourth session focuses on demographic transition toward an aging population. Malaysia is aging at a rapid pace, and this presents both challenges and opportunities. The panel emphasized the need to reform our social protection system, including the establishment of a multi-tier pension framework to ensure a basic minimum income for all. Additionally, there is a critical need to transform our health system to address the complex needs of an aging population, ensuring that we can provide high-quality care across the life course. In our fifth session, we discussed strategies for improving food security in Malaysia. The panelists highlighted the government's initiative, which focus on capacity development, institutional reform, and technology adoption to strengthen the agriculture sector. The way forward involved in enhancing data collection through the 2024 agricultural census, developing a Malaysian food security indicators, and addressing food loss and waste. By mainstreaming digital agriculture technologies and promoting climate resilience, Malaysia can modernize its agri-food industry and ensure a sustainable food system by 2030. The 6 sessions addresses the critical issues of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. The panel discussed Malaysia's roadmap for sustainable development, focusing on aligning with global emission reduction goals and advancing the carbon market. Industry efforts to reduce carbon footprints and drive sustainable practices were also highlighted. As we move forward, it is imperative to consider how demographic shifts will influence climate resilience and long-term adaptation planning, ensuring that we work towards a sustainable net zero future. Finally, the 7th session explore the intersections of governance and technological advancement. The presenter discussed initiatives in GovTech, including how digital transformation can enhance public sector efficiency and transparency. The growing use of AI and advanced technologies presents both opportunities and challenges, particularly in areas such as data privacy and cybersecurity. With the gazetting of the Malaysia Cybersecurity Act 2024, it is essential that we strengthen governance to address these challenges and leverage technology to revolutionize public services. We must advance with technology by implementing value-driven public policy that prioritize ethical use, strengthen local capabilities, ensure comprehensive education, address cybersecurity and environmental challenges, and minimize political interference. Last but not least, we have to appreciate local talents. The success story of Innovathon is the example. Yang bahagia Datuk, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the discussion during this kick-off conference have provided us with some way forward for the 13th Malaysia Plan. As we move forward, it is crucial that we ensure that our policies are inclusive, sustainable, and forward-looking. Together, we can build a prosperous future for Malaysia. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to working with all of you to make this plan a reality. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you very much, Encik Kode, for the summary. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the closing, I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Dato' Lokman bin Adam bin Ahmad, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha Makro Kementerian Ekonomi, to kindly join us on stage in presenting the closing remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam Malaysia Madani. Yang berbahagia datuk-datuk, doktor, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dihormati sekalian. Alhamdulillah, dengan limpah kurnia dan keizinannya, kita telah berjaya melaksanakan persidangan permulaan Rancangan Malaysia Ketiga Belas dengan jayanya bermula daripada semalam hingga pada hari ini. Saya ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada semua pembentang, div-div jemputan dan tuan-tuan semua yang sudi untuk bersama kita pada 2 hari. Persidangan ini menjadi medan yang penting untuk kita berkongsi idea, bertukar pandangan dan peluang serta cabaran dalam usaha membina masa depan negara yang lebih gemilang. RMK 13 menggariskan aspirasi kita untuk memacu pertumbuhan negara untuk mencapai keseimbangan antara pembangunan ekonomi dan sosial serta kelestarian alam sekitar di samping memastikan tata kelola yang baik dan berintegriti dalam setiap langkah yang diambil. RMK 13 bukan sekadar satu dokumen dasar, tetapi merupakan manifestasi harapan dan impian kita untuk sebuah Malaysia yang lebih makmur, inklusif dan lestari. Sepanjang 2 hari ini, kita telah mendengar pandangan daripada pakar-pakar dalam pelbagai bidang. Kita telah meneliti isu-isu yang meliputi aspek ekonomi, sosial, alam sekitar dan tata kelola. Semuanya dengan satu tujuan utama, iaitu memastikan Malaysia kekal berdaya saing dan makmur dalam menghadapi cabaran dunia yang semakin kompleks dan tidak menentu. Kita telah bersama-sama mengenal pasti cabaran global, antaranya termasuklah ketidaktentuan ekonomi global, perubahan iklim serta perubahan teknologi dan digital. Perbincangan mengenai arah aliran mega global memberi kita pemahaman yang mendalam tentang bagaimana kita boleh bersiap sedia dan memanfaatkan perubahan-perubahan ini untuk kebaikan negara. Apa yang telah dibincangkan dalam persidangan ini akan menjadi asas kukuh dalam merangka strategi dan pelan tindakan yang lebih terperinci. Selepas persidangan ini berakhir, gerak kerja untuk merealisasikan matlamat RMK 13 akan terus digerakkan melalui pelbagai platform kerjasama mesyuarat kumpulan perancang antara agensi IAPG, kumpulan kerja teknikal TWG dan kumpulan fokus FGD akan berfungsi sebagai mekanisme utama untuk menyelaraskan usaha dan mengintegrasikan pandangan pelbagai pihak. Dokumen RMK 13 ini yang akan dibentangkan di Parlimen insya-Allah pada Julai 2025 memerlukan kerjasama dan komitmen semua pihak berkepentingan, iaitu dari pihak kerajaan, sektor swasta hingga masyarakat sivil. Dengan semangat kesepaduan dan tanggungjawab bersama, kita akan memastikan setiap inisiatif dan cadangan diterjemahkan ke dalam tindakan nyata yang membawa manfaat kepada rakyat dan negara. Sebagai penutup, izinkan saya untuk mengingatkan bahawa kejayaan sebenar kita tidak diukur melalui seberapa banyak rancangan yang kita buat, tetapi melalui keberkesanan rancangan tersebut dilaksanakan. Marilah kita bersama-sama memastikan bahawa setiap idea dan cadangan yang telah dibincangkan akan menjadi realiti yang membawa manfaat kepada generasi kini dan akan datang. Dengan penuh kesyukuran dan semangat yang tinggi untuk bersama-sama memajukan negara, saya dengan ini secara rasminya menutup persidangan permulaan rancangan Malaysia ke-13. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Yang Berbahagia Datuk Luqman Ahmad, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha Makro Kementerian Ekonomi. Ladies and gentlemen, please do kindly remain seated. We have something special lined up for you, and we like to direct your attention now to our screen.
Terima kasih atas kehadiran semua ke Persidangan Permulaan Rancangan Ekonomi ke-13. Jumpa lagi di masa akan datang. Bye.
Looks like Ida has left the building. Ira has left the building. Ira has left the building, and I know you will be too. But before I make the final closing, I would like to just say to you, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here throughout the 2 days. Give yourselves a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you for all your questions for the various panels, and thank you for all the feedback thus far. We're looking forward to prepare better events for you moving forward as we tailor-make RMK 13 to the nation's needs. Please do continue to give us your feedback based upon what you heard here for the past 2 days. We're looking forward to all your feedback on our portal. So once again, please visit us and do drop us a note. Tell us what kind of methodology we need to enforce and how we may go about shaping a greater nation for you and, of course, the next generation with RMK 13. Dengan itu, sekian wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kerana sudi bersama kami dalam persidangan permulaan Rancangan Malaysia ke-13 2026-2030. Take care everybody, drive home safe. We'll see you at the next event.